Good day, math learners! In this video, you are going to learn how to solve problems involving linear equations and inequalities. So let's begin. These are the steps in solving problems involving linear equations and inequalities. Step 1 is to read and understand the problem. Step 2, plan. Draw a sketch to visualize the problem. Use a variable to represent the quantity being asked. If there are other unknown quantities in the problem, represent them in terms of the variable used. Write a thought process relating the quantities involved. Write the thought process as an equation. Step 3 is to solve. Solve the equation for the variable. Answer the questions asked. And for the last step is to check. Check the answers if they satisfy all the conditions given in the problem. Now let's have examples. Example number 1. The larger of two numbers is 5 less than twice the smaller, and their sum is 28. What are the numbers? So let's solve this problem. First is we need to define the variable. Since we are given two numbers here and we don't know what these numbers are yet, we need to represent these numbers using a variable. So we can say, let n be the smaller number, and for the larger number, since it was described here in the problem, it says the larger of two numbers is 5 less than twice the smaller. So this phrase, let's change this one into mathematical phrase. So from verbal phrase to mathematical phrase, using the variable n, this will become twice the number, so that means 2n minus 5. So 5 less than twice the smaller. So 2n minus 5 is the larger number. Next is the thought process. According to the problem, their sum is 28. So that means if we are going to add the smaller number and the larger number, the sum is equal to 28. So this will become the smaller number plus the larger number is equal to 28. Next is to write the equation. Since we have the representation of the smaller number and the larger number in the first step, this one, so we can write this as an equation. The smaller number will become n, the larger number will become 2n minus 5, and then we will just copy equals 28. So this will become n plus 2n minus 5 equals 28. Now let's solve the equation. Okay, first let's copy the equation. N plus 2n minus 5 equals 28. To solve this equation, this linear equation, we will simplify first. We will eliminate the parentheses. So this will become n plus 2n minus 5 equals 28. Now let's combine the similar terms. Let's add n and 2n. So n plus 2n is equal to 3n. We will just copy minus 5 equals 28. Now let's transpose negative 5 to the right to isolate 3n. So this will become 3n equals 28. From negative 5, it is now positive 5. Let's simplify the right side of the equation. So copy 3n is equal to 28 plus 5 is 33. Now let's solve for n. To solve for n, we will apply the multiplication property of equality. So that means we'll divide both sides by 3 so that n will remain in the left side. So divide both sides by 3. 3n divided by 3, cancel 3, and that is n. 33 divided by 3 is 11. So we have now the value of our n, which is our smaller number, which is 11. Now to get our larger number, we will go back to the first step, which is the representation of our larger number, 2n minus 5. So we will copy 2n minus 5 and we will substitute the value of n. This will become 2 times n, 2 times 11. Then copy minus 5 and then let's simplify. 2 times 11 is equal to 22 minus 5 is 17. So that means our larger number is 17. Now for answering the question is, what are the numbers? The numbers are 11 and 17. Now let's check if our answer is correct. Checking the answer. The larger number is 17, or the larger number 17 is 5 less than twice the smaller number 11. So that is correct. And the sum of 17 and 11 is 28. And we are done with our first example. Now let's proceed to example number 2. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is less than 141. Find the set of integers with the greatest sum. There are many 3 consecutive integers whose sum is less than 141, but we need to find those 3 integers which has the greatest sum. So first, let's define the variable. So we will have 3 unknown values here. For the smallest integer or the first integer, we can have, or we can represent that as x. So let x be the first integer. Now since these 3 integers are consecutive, so that means our second integer will be x plus 1 and our third integer will be x plus 2. Okay, now is the thought process. According to the problem, the sum of the 3 consecutive integers is less than 141. So this means first integer plus second integer plus third integer is less than 141. Now let's write the equation. Let's use the representation. So this will become, the first integer will be x plus 1 plus quantity x plus 2 is less than 141. Now let's solve inequality. So first, we will eliminate the parentheses. So this will become x plus 1 plus x plus 2 is less than 141. Now let's combine the similar terms. We have here 1, 2, 3, 3x. So this will become x plus x is 3x, and then combine the constants. 1 plus 2 is 3. Then copy less than 141. Now let's isolate the variable x. To isolate x, we need to transpose 3 to the right side, or we will apply the addition property of equality. So this will become 3x is less than 141. From positive 3, it is now negative 3. Let's simplify the right side of the inequality. So this will become 3x is less than 138 because 141 minus 3 is 138. Now let's solve for x. So we will divide both sides by 3. And then 3x divided by 3, cancel 3. This is equal to x. And then we will just copy the inequality symbol, or we will change this one to equal sign. 138 divided by 3 is 45. So we have now the value of our first integer, which is 45. Now to solve for our second integer is x plus 1. So we will use x plus 1 and then substitute the value of x, which is 45, to x. So this will become 45 plus 1, and 45 plus 1 is 46. So our second integer is 46. For our third integer, we will have x plus 2. So this will become 45 plus 2, and 45 plus 2 is 47. So our third integer is 47. Now, for answering the question, find the set of integers with the greatest sum. So, the set of integers with the greatest sum is 45, 46, and 47. Checking the answer, if we are going to add these three integers, 45 plus 46 plus 47 is equal to 138. And 138 is less than 141. So we are correct.